Poorly aged rap lyrics may be temporarily retired for the time being, but controversial rap lyrics is still up and running. You already know the deal, so we're gonna jump into the video in just a little bit. But right before we get started with that, today's video is sponsored by Wonder. If you're not already familiar with Wonder, it's an app that can turn words into digital art. The way it works is you enter a prompt, for example, pink monkey riding a bike. Choose the aspect ratio for the art, pick an art style. You've got stuff like novelistic, pen and ink, oil painting, and Wonder brings your idea to life in seconds. It's really useful if you need some help visualizing your ideas or getting some inspiration. If at any time you want to try it out, by the way, there's a link at the top of the description for a free trial of their premium version, which includes 20 plus styles to pick from, faster image generation, unlimited art, no ads, higher resolution, and 50% off of your AI avatar. It can be pretty fun to use with your friends as well. For example, I've had a little sort of competition with mine before using the app to see who can come up with the most bizarre prompt and artwork result. I mean, look at this. You've got Jay-Z as an astronaut, Eminem eating spaghetti, everything you could ever want, really. As I said, the premium version of the app allows you to create unlimited art, it's faster, there's 20 different styles to choose from, and there's no ads, along with a few other benefits. So if this sounds good to you, you can click my link at the very top of the description to get a free trial of the premium version of Wonder. Much love to Wonder for sponsoring today's video. So with all that being said, guys, let's jump into our first lyric that caused a little bit of controversy. Like Juice WRLD, 70 pounds on the private jet. Pump rock x heavy metal, arguably the greatest song of our generation and a defining song in the rap metal genre, officially released this year on Lil Pump's Lil Pump 2 album. But the version that was on there was a new version of the song with the lyrics that you just heard cut out of it completely. And the reason for that was definitely the backlash that Lil Pump received when he posted the version with the Juice WRLD lyric included onto social media. Mama told me don't go to school on a Percocet, like Juice WRLD, 70 pounds on the private jet. Now, if you're not sure about the context of the line, what makes this one more ignorant than your average Lil Pump lyric is the fact that it directly references the circumstances under which Juice WRLD died in 2019 in a very casual, sort of flippant way. While Juice was flying on a private jet, law enforcement officers were waiting for it to land at the airport as they were notified that there were likely drugs and guns being transported in the plane. After it landed, Juice WRLD allegedly swallowed multiple Percocet pills in a panic trying to hide them, which led to him having a seizure there and eventually his fatal overdose. Which ties into the part of Lil Pump's lyrics where he says, "Mama told me don't go to school on a Percocet," right before he mentions Juice. And law enforcement officials later said that they found 70 pounds of weed on the plane, which Pump references after mentioning Juice WRLD. I know Pump's whole thing is saying dumb shit, but this line feels a little bit more controversial and edgy than most stuff that he's said in his songs, especially when he started to have his come up around a similar time to Juice WRLD, so obviously Juice's fans were gonna be made aware of this line. At the very least, Pump or someone on his team decided to change it before the song officially came out. And we were blessed with a non-controversial version of the greatest song ever made. Thank you, Pump. Pupils get cornier, but I'm contemplating getting bombs away on the game like I'm outside of an Ariana Grande concert waiting. Eminem is the gift that keeps on giving, so to speak, when it comes to making controversial lyrics lists. This one was from his 2020 album Music to Be Murdered By, and it very clearly referenced the 2017 Manchester bombing, which occurred after an Ariana Grande concert. It was obviously a horrible and tragic incident, but this was not outside of the realms of controversy for Eminem. This is a man who had Columbine lyrics on his album a year after it happened. Eminem's whole thing pretty much since the start of his career has been along the lines of words will never do as much damage as people do to other people through their actions, but this line will definitely disgust quite a few people, and that's completely fair. I mean, I'm a big Eminem fan who completely gets what he's going for, and even then, this line came off as pretty dark to me as well. These lines even received backlash from the mayor mayor of Greater Manchester himself, who called them unnecessarily hurtful and deeply disrespectful, and even some victims and survivors from the incident responded negatively to what Eminem said. It is worth noting that Eminem helped to raise over $2 million for the victims of the bombing in 2017, but it is up to individual people whether or not that makes this line something that they can tolerate. Me personally, I'm not crazy about the line itself, but I really like the song that it comes from overall, but I understand people feeling different ways about it.
Yo, I'm with that. No, I can freak, flock, flow, fuck up a faggot. Don't understand the ways and I ain't down with gays.
You guys remember Georgie Porgy from the second controversial rap lyrics video? If you don't be shy, you can watch it after this one. Turns out that isn't the only time that Brand Nubian, who featured on Georgie Porgy, have had homophobic lyrics. Sadat X is the specific member of Brand Nubian in question here, and surely these lyrics that he had on the song could not be interpreted as anything other than very homophobic, right? Well, not according to Sadat X himself. In the Genius annotation for this line, which Sadat wrote himself, he said, "At the time, the F word that I was talking about was meant to describe soft individuals." Okay, that would maybe be a bit more believable if you didn't immediately follow it up with, "Don't understand their ways, I ain't down with gays." Saying that out loud, man, this is what people were just rapping in the 90s. It just makes it sound an awful lot more like this is about sexuality than soft individuals. It is worth noting that this song did drop in 1992, and I haven't mentioned the second part of Sadat X's Genius annotation yet, where he said, "As you grow and see the world, your views on life change. I say live and let live," which hopefully means that his stance over the years has changed from what he expressed on this lyric. On top of that, later versions of this song did have these lyrics replaced with different lines, such as on Brand Nubian's 2001 Best Of album.
Respected highly, hi Mr. O'Reilly, hope all is well, kiss the plaintiff and the wifey.
Now, I decided to include this one not so much because the line itself was controversial, but because it references a controversy that Ludacris was involved in. The Mr. O'Reilly that he refers to here is Bill O'Reilly, a former Fox News host who had his own show called The O'Reilly Factor. And this show is what ignited the controversy with Ludacris. In 2002, Ludacris had a deal with Pepsi and appeared in an ad for them. The ad itself was completely normal and harmless, but Big Bill over here campaigned for Pepsi to drop Ludacris and pull the ad, telling his viewers to boycott Pepsi if they didn't do so. His reasoning for this was apparently to punish Pepsi for using a man who degrades women, who encourages substance abuse, and does all the things that hurt particularly the poor in our society. Remember that he said that, because very soon it's going to become pretty ironic. In my opinion, it was a pretty dumb argument, but inspiring collective outrage worked, and Pepsi dropped Ludacris and pulled the ad. Now, here's where that irony comes in. Mr. Bill O'Reilly, who wanted Ludacris's ad pulled because he supposedly degrades women with his lyrics, was sued for sexual harassment in 2004, which is what Ludacris made a tongue-in-cheek reference to with the lyrics that I just played you at the start of this segment. And it only continued to get more ironic by the end of 2017 when it was reported that Fox News and Bill O'Reilly had to settle 5 other different sexual harassment lawsuits against him since 2002, paying tens of millions of dollars to settle these lawsuits. The largest one being for $32 million for allegations of a non-consensual sexual relationship. It all ended with Fox News dropping him from their network after they allegedly tried and failed to keep the news of the harassment lawsuit spreading. But hey, it's those Ludacris lyrics doing all the damage in the world, right?
Why do people push pounds and powder? Why they Bush knock down the towers?
And we're gonna finish with another one that for some reason Bill O'Reilly is involved in again. In terms of chart performance, Why was the biggest song of Jadakiss's solo career, with the concept of the track being him asking many random random questions. Why is Jadakiss such a good rapper? Why did they kill Biggie and Pac? Why do rappers lie so much in their lyrics? Why are you even alive? Why did Bush do 9/11? One of those probably stands out to you a little bit more than the others, with the Bush line leading O'Reilly to label Jadakiss as a smear merchant, and even saying that the laws should be changed so that Bush could sue Jadakiss for defamation. We are America and we love free speech, unless it's someone we disagree with. Holy shit, the storm is getting heavy outside, guys. If you can hear that, my bad. Lovely summer day in the UK. And apparently the line was also censored when it was played on the radio or when they showed the music video on MTV. Still though, it is a pretty great sounding track, some very sus lines aside, and the 9/11 conspiracy bars controversy only seemed to elevate the song's popularity. And so, that does it for this episode of Controversial Rap Lyrics. I hope you guys enjoyed this one, and if you did, you can of course click right there on the screen to check out the previous part. Thank you for watching this video, thanks to Wonder once again for sponsoring it, the links for them are down in the description below, and much love to all my Patreon supporters and channel members over there for helping the boy out, with a special shout out to my biggest supporters, and those are Big Daddy Foe, Griffin Upchurch, I Am Regent, KWG13270, and Lucas112.